What's up, Jumbo Gang?
Trust no bitch, these bitches be cheaters, these bitches be hoes. Can't love no bitch, these bitches be eaters, they fucking my bros. And I get to that dog, which why my gang.
YouTube, this your boy Sabo back again with another video. Alright, we got top 10 Squid Game theories to ignore. Now, what's this? Squid Games. Squid. I heard of Squid. I ain't never heard of the Squid Games until my brother had showed me on TV what it was. And I was thinking one time, like, would it be a dope ass video? Is that red light, green light? Then next thing you know, I seen Dub do it. I was like, fuck. Cause that was my idea. I wanted to do it on YouTube. I might still do it on my other channel. Check it out. But we finna get into this reaction, man.
Squid Game is the talk of the town. The Korean series hit Netflix mid-September, and most of us binged it over the course of a weekend. Let's be honest here, we're all still tired. We watched it on the way here. Written and directed by Hwang Dan-yuk, Squid Game puts 456 players in a series of deadly children's games to win billions of dollars, but you have to...
Now, come on, bro. What if something like this happened in real life? Comment below if you would join me.
Survive first. That's the only thing. Welcome back to Most Amazing Top 10. I'm Taylor McWaters, and here are top 10 dark Squid Game theories, too real to ignore. Also, spoilers coming in hot, of course. You click this, you should know this. Let's do it. Kicking off the list at number 10. Blue or red. When The Matrix first came out, my friends and I would always joke about the blue pill or the red pill. That was the whole conversation. Now we're back to a similar conversation, only this time it's the red card or the blue card. What'll it be, folks? Let's start smacking it against the ground as hard as we can and see. Now the show opens up with our main character, Seong Ji-hun, played by the wonderful Jung Jae Lee, and he's down in the dumps, more or less. Not a great father really at all, just horrible money problems too. So when he's approached in the street to play a game of Daki for money, he of course says yes. Now he loses over and over and over again. He's getting slapped literally in the face numerous times, but eventually he wins and gets a nice chunk of change.
So wait a minute. When you slap, you basically like you getting more lives and shit. On the street part, but what the fuck? I guess.
And asked in a Morpheus manner, red or blue. Ji-hun chooses blue and subsequently ends up as a player in the Squid Games.
Oh.
Now, what if you chose red? Well, an ongoing theory suggests that those who ended up in similar debts that chose red ended up becoming workers there instead of players.
What?
TikToker Lucy What One posted this question online, so now we're talking about it in the office all day long. Okay, so this theory checks out. It's stated in the game that everybody is equal, but you know what? I'm a blue guy for sure. If I had to pick, I would be so screwed. I'm like, blue looks nicer. I like blue. I'm a blue guy. Number 9. I'm your father. This one, I have to admit, I thought of as well watching the show for the first time. So yes, I'm also a genius. Episode 3, we find our main character, Ji-hun, at this gaming facility. Now, it's almost like a dystopian future in terms of bunking, prison vibes for sure. Even when it comes to being fed, Ji-hun requests chocolate milk because he can't drink regular milk. Side note, that's a great tip for always getting chocolate milk. I'm gonna start saying that. Il-nam, the older man,
So it's
001,
basically like they in jail, but they not in jail. This shit crazy. Like, but you playing games for your life.
Ji-hun if he was spanked as a
Imagine
child a
going
lot.
through that shit.
And he replies, how did you know? And then Il-nam tells him that his son did as well, and that he was just like him. Just like him, eh? Interesting. Episode 3, sprinkling in those key factors. Now cut to the marble game, episode 6. There's a neighborhood setting built for this one, a neighborhood setting that Ji-hun recognizes. Looks a lot similar to the one he grew up near. Interesting. Now let's backtrack to that first episode where Ji-hun is attempting to get into his mom's bank account. He tries a series of numbers, and if you've ever done an escape room, you're probably leaning in at this point. He tries to use his own birthday, which is 0426. April 26th. And in that 6th episode, Il-nam asks Ji-hun if it's the 24th yet because his son's birthday is coming up. Almost like it's 2 days later on the 26th. Yeah, maybe, yeah. The numbers as well. The first number and the very last, that tipped me off right from the start of the show. Many believe he was gearing up to hand the games down to his own son. That would be lovely. Here's some chocolate milk and tons of death traps. Enjoy. Happy birthday. Number 8, changing sides. There's a big turning point in this game that makes it stand out against other shows with similar themes. They get to vote, and then they get to go.
These ads, boy, these motherfuckers crazy.
Go home. Problem solved? Question mark. After the first vote to cancel this Mario Party from hell, the players go back to their real life. Thing is, most of them need that money still. The trauma is already embedded in their brains at that point, so you know what? You might as well finish the mission. 14 players chose not to go back after the 50-51 split because, you know, they don't want to play tug of war till death. Fair, more than fair. But what did those 14 players do instead? Well, the front man tells other guards to watch out for players who didn't return. Yeah, you can't just walk around town and then tell everybody about these games. That's a no-no. Plus, as we see in the show, it's not easy to believe people when they tell cops about this game anyways. Like, he goes and he explains the games, and they're like, yeah, this is insane. Get out of here. You're crazy. So a theory is that the players who didn't return still were recruited to pay their debts by being a worker instead, by going onto the red side. And if you look at the 14 who didn't return, plus previous games, they must have had people there leaving, so it kind of adds up to the amount of workers that we had in season 1 of this show. Hot theory, we love it. Number 7, winners return. So you win the game, you're rich, now what? Well, considering the patterns that got them in there in the first place, odds are they probably just spent those winnings and then got themselves in yet again
everybody
another
got
hole.
some money.
We literally see this in the
So
first
it wasn't
episode
just
with
one
our main
winner. I think it's everybody. I ain't know that. I ain't know it was multiple winners. I mean, there gotta be multiple winners. There's a lot of people that played. I don't know. I just gotta watch the show. I might just gotta watch the show.
The guards are previous winners who have fallen back into a gambling debt, or they just can't live normal lives after. After one boy was discovered to be a guard in episode 3, it kind of makes you wonder. I mean, kids are really good at these games after all, so it wouldn't shock me if he was a past winner. Also, that's horrible to have a kid playing these games. Oh my God. Number 6, red hair return. We love a glow up. You change your hair, you're a new person. You start doing unnecessary hair flips, starting to say pardon a lot. You know, you're the talk of the town. You're feeling good. Well, in the finale, Jihan decides to change his hair color up a bit. But that transition takes a while after he wins the game. He also doesn't even touch the prize money right after he wins for more than a year, obviously. Too much guilt for chocolate milk. Is there such a thing?
So how much did the games last? How much did the game last? I don't know, it goes on forever.
Man reveals that he was behind the Squid Games as Jihan starts spending that money. He starts dressing nice and changing his hair color to red. It's cool. Now, the show director says that this was done because it was the craziest thing that his character would do. You know, changing his hair, being all different. He's all dark and edgy now, right? Okay? But some believe that he dyed his hair red because he's going back now to pose as a worker in season 2. And that's how he'll take revenge on the game. There's nothing planned yet for season 2, but this feels like a good call. I'm leaning towards this one. Number 5, game theory. We love big metaphors, especially when we watch them for an entire weekend, for 9 hours. And apparently Squid Game is just that. The online community has looked at this show from a bigger perspective. Game theory is the study of interactive decision-making, where the outcome for every player purely depends on the actions of everybody involved. So if you move the star in Mario Party, you're moving it away from Luigi, but you're also playing yourself later down.
Imagine stopping like that in the middle of a game. Well, both of y'all gonna get shot. No, it's not supposed to be funny, but you gotta depend on the other person. Y'all see what I'm talking about? Like, you got the...
You got to think about others in order to make your decisions, while at the same time, people are banking on you to make certain calls that they can later on, you know. So in this show, the choices of the rich and lack of the choices from the poor have equal power. Squid Game is an example of what's called zero-sum game or empty-sum game. An advantage won for a single side is a loss on the other side. Luke 6:31, do to others as you would have them do to you. Or for the non-religious folk, check yourself before you riggedy-wreck yourself, I guess. Number 4, foreshadowed deaths. This one made me go back and take a look at each episode. This one's pretty good. The entire time we're rooting for these players, we're also so anxious because these games are gory, they're twisted, they're not for the faint of heart. So as we're growing closer to these players, we're hoping that they don't bite the dust. But the way they end up meeting their fate was there the whole time. Player 101, the mafia guy, originally jumped off a bridge to avoid casino debt collectors, and then in the 5th game, he dies by falling off a bridge. Player 67, threatened to slash somebody's neck in real life, and then in the game, they get theirs cut. Also, player 111, he got in trouble before the game started. He was sued for malpractice, just doing the medical system dirty, and then in the game he was taken out for dissecting dead players. Player 212 as well promises to finish the game with player 101, and during that bridge fall, she actually grabbed him and took her down with him. A lot of connections, a lot of lessons, a lot of anxiety. Enjoy. Number 3, other games. When the guests first arrive in North Korea, there's hints that this Squid Game wasn't a one-of-a-kind. One of the VIPs says to another that the games in Korea are always so interesting. Okay,
yeah, because they always fighting this shit.
What makes this one interesting? Look, I'm sure in this world there's other twist-rich masterminds with their own plans and how to use their money. I mean, all of ours on Earth just want to go to space. That's a good call, I guess. When it's revealed that the old man was really the one who put this game together the whole time, plus the theory that they're related, we now have a new idea. What if the games were just his way of Ji-hun reliving a childhood, a lost childhood, with a horrible twist? Il-nam even tells Ji-hun that it was fun to play with him. A specific theme, creepy and fun, but what about other games? Are those also kid-themed? What if other game makers around the world missed out on board games? Would theirs be like board games from hell? Yeah, let's play Monopoly, but if you land on Baltic, you turn into vapor. Have fun. Number 2, changing sides. So I mentioned earlier that our main guy, Ji-hun, dyed his hair and then he plans on taking down the organization. So the online community thinks that Ji-hun and Jun-ho are pretty much going to swap roles for the next season whenever it does come around. We didn't see Jun-ho die on screen, and after that big reveal that he's in fact brothers with the frontman, I really can't see him being gone for season 2. Also, season 2 would kick off on a pretty intense note if both players swapped morals all of a sudden. I'd love to see Ji-hun sneak into the games just like Jun-ho did, because that was a brilliant reveal. Part of me wants every season to be completely different, kind of like Hunger Games or whatever, but at the same time, a consistent play throughout these seasons could be the trick for us watching forever. Kind of like how Saw kept making movies. I smell the next John Kramer, for sure. And finally, number 1, number 1's jacket. We'll end this list on a nice touch, I guess, a small act of kindness that we now know has a much deeper meaning. Let's look back to the first riot. The front man and the workers are just watching everybody get taken out. It's pure chaos. But as soon as our number 1 man, the guy behind it all, unbeknownst to us, says that he's scared, the doors open immediately. So that was a glimpse of his power, only we as an audience at this point thought it was because he's old and confused. Now, he knew what he was doing. Another game-changing moment was later when Ji-hun received his jacket before re-entering the competition. It seemed, again, like an act of kindness, but really, he knew that jacket, with that number, held immunity for the games. Guys, those are just 10 Squid Game theories, too real to ignore, but
that's
which one?
crazy, man. Everybody like, comment, and subscribe, man. This Squid Game, she look like it's interesting. I might have to give it a watch. I wasn't thinking about watching it because I seen all the people die, so I guess if this get like 2K likes, I might give it a try. Or if you stayed and watched the whole video. Everybody like, comment, and subscribe, yo.